Oh, hey there. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Los Wise Guys podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dan, Papa Sun Killer. Who am I accompanied by? I'm accompanied by Islam, Ra, God of the Sun, you know him. Also, Danny, a.k.a. Lord Disco. And what I want you to do is I want you to make sure that you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications below. And don't you dare forget to check out all our other amazing content. Thank you.
It's official, guys. I got COVID. I tested last week on Thursday, so like literally after we recorded the podcast last week. I tested positive. I think I got the Omicron because it was a very mild case of COVID. I just had the chills and the body ache for like one night, and then just cold symptoms the rest of the time. But yeah, got COVID. Got that natural immunity, boy.
Did you lose your taste or smell? Or
No,
anything,
I can still taste and smell fine, which is a good thing because I love food. I'm fat, so.
I'm sorry.
But yeah.
I'm sorry. I take my headset off to crack my neck real quick, put it back on. All I hear is, but I love food.
But yeah, so I think thank God for the vaccine is why I got such a mild case. I did not have the booster, but it is what it is. I kind of don't want to get the booster now that I have natural immunity. I got to check with my job because they said they wanted us to take the booster, but
even if you do, you would have to wait a certain amount of time, wouldn't you?
For after getting COVID,
I believe so. I could be making that up, but I think you can't just get it right away. I think you have to give it a decent amount of time before you can get the booster anyway.
Okay, I gotta
just
check
look into
the CDC and
A lot of places are forcing people to get the booster. Like you said, your job, but also like my school that I'm going to over here in California. They're saying by I think by March they want everybody to have the booster, or else you can't like fucking enroll or like attend. So I mean, I already have it scheduled for February. I'm getting the booster, but it's crazy how like they're locking down on that shit.
I don't like that, because we're not getting a choice now.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's no longer a choice. Like and like listen, I think you should go get the shot. I think you should be fully vaccinated, which is like your 2 shots, right? If you're getting Pfizer or Moderna or whatever, Johnson & Johnson's 1 shot, because it definitely helps. Boosters, I feel like it's a business now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's mostly a business and not about like the science. And I'm just like, okay, so
Is it a business though? Because aren't they free?
The government's paying. Nothing is ever free, right? The government's paying. So the pharma is pushing the government to mandate it so they can
get paid.
Exactly.
I see.
So when jobs and stuff like that are telling us we have to get it, I'm just like, I don't like being told I have to get it, right? The vaccine was like, hey, you should get it. And I went out and got it, right? Telling me I have to get it is just like, it's just the inner, like, I don't know. It just makes me not want to get it.
You want to like just rebel against it. I get it.
And I don't know why.
See, I'm
like,
of the mind.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm of the mind where normally I would agree with you, but I've gotten to the point where it's just like, honest to God, and I know a lot of people wouldn't like hearing this. If it was up to me, I'd force everybody to get everything. Just because I'm at the point where
fuck the flu shot. I'm not getting that.
Well,
shit.
I mean, in terms of COVID, like the COVID shots, including boosters. It's gotten to the point where it's just like I'm tired of COVID existing. I know it's not going to make COVID not exist, but hey, there's a potential it can make it better. Fuck it. I'll take every chance I get to get out of the COVID thing. I'll force everybody to do it. I would also get to the point where I would force everybody to stay home too. So, like I said, I'd become a straight up dictator. Force everybody to do what I think is best. Be like, fuck it. I don't care anyone's opinions anymore. I've had it. I'm done. Yeah. This is what has to be done. So, it's a good thing I'm not in charge.
Exactly. I feel like overall, like for the greater good, we all should be vaccinated. But at the same time, we're in America and we have freedoms, and forcing everybody to take this vaccine, like I feel like greatly infringes on our freedoms, because it's like we don't have any control of our body, and it's like, even though it's for the greater good, in my opinion, I just feel like our rights.
No, I 100%
like
get where you guys are coming from, but like I said, I've gone through to the other side now. I'm just like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I truly just don't give a fuck anymore. Everybody has to get it.
I'm actually I scheduled my booster already. But now that you say you should look into it, I'm gonna look into it, see if I have to wait a certain time.
Yeah.
And they're like, the Omicron booster's coming out in March or whatever. I'm just like, so what's the point of getting this one now?
Mm-hmm.
Might as well just wait until March to get the Omicron booster.
I'm gonna get that one too. I'm gonna get all of them. I'm gonna get all those shits.
You gotta collect them all like gym badges. I got the Omicron, I got the Delta.
Yeah.
I got
Honestly, God, it's at the point
now
where
there's
it's
a
just
Deltacron variant.
It's getting to the point where COVID's gonna get me. You know what I'm saying? COVID's be walking around. Damn, I got that. I got that Papa. I got the
Papa Sun Killer booster. But yeah, so it is what it is. And that's just a way for them to like force people to get it without actually making it a law, is to have like companies or whatever be like, or say you can't do this until you're vaccinated or have boosted, or whatever. So it sucks, but hey, the vaccine helped me not get super sick when I got COVID, so I'm thankful for that. And if this is the level that every time I get, if I get corona again and this is the level of sick, I would never take another shot. Like if every time I get it, it would be just this from the vaccines I already got plus natural immunity, I wouldn't take another shot.
What if there was proof that the vaccine that you have within you now over time deteriorates and you then need to get a booster? Then you would consider it?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But
you need like definitive proof, of course.
I would need to see better studies than what's out there right now.
That makes perfect sense, actually.
Because listen, dude, I swear to you, I was sick for a night, and then the rest of it just felt like a cold. Yep. So
there's a lot of people.
The vaccine
a lot of people
did
I've
its
heard
fucking
like
job.
That,
The vaccine did its job, but to just keep
even with my girl, she was sick like 2 days, maybe,
dude,
like tops, and then she was back to normal.
Like I don't take, like when I have a cold, I don't take NyQuil every 4 hours. Or I take NyQuil twice in the day, one in the morning, one at night, and that's it. I don't like taking I don't like putting a lot of chemicals in my body. That's just me. But yeah, that's besides the point. Whatever. So yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's move on to some news, I guess.
Damn, this nigga got COVID. Ooh, he got cooties. Get your cube away from mine on this screen.
Yeah, why are you right between us? Well, at least on my screen. You're right between us.
Oh, on my screen, I'm
left.
all the way to the left.
You always are.
Yo, at least put your mask on. Like, God.
Oh, I was double masked for a while because of my dad and stuff. But he's traveling now, so I'm just chilling at home by myself, no masks. Just like out here coughing on it.
I was double masking back before it was cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm the only reason before I used to just wear one mask.
I don't know why that sounded like I invented double masking. Like,
but
I'm glad I popped Danny on that one though.
I was only double masked because my dad was in proximity. So
no, that makes perfect sense. It's funny because when I was working at the hospitals, when I was double masking, mind you, this was before like anybody considered, like, this is before the news was like you should wear a mask over your mask. Like, none of that shit. It's because my beard was really long at the time, and I didn't want to get COVID in my beard. So I wore the one mask over my mouth, and I lowered the other mask over my beard. So it was just I had two masks over each other. People were like, that's a weird mask. I'm like, I'm wearing two. Like, why are you wearing two? It's like, because I'm a manly man with a beard.
Yeah.
Then I transitioned.
Well, all right, news. So I got a couple pieces of news. DC Comics will kill the Justice League in April. So, with the anniversary of the death of Superman, DC Comics is doing a storyline which they have been building it up for the past year, I think, to issue 75 of Justice League to the death of the Justice League. Something similar in that line to Death of Superman, which was an iconic comic book. Hopefully this one will be an iconic one as well. Looking forward to reading
Absolutely cannot
it. Speaking of comic books, I added Naomi to to my list on Infinity because of the new show that just came out. And I saw the first 2 episodes of the show, and I just want to read the comic book just so I can see how much they will fuck it up, since it's on the CW. So, but yeah, no, I did that, and I'm still reading like my.
How is it? Have you read it?
Naomi, no, I literally just added it yesterday. But I'm still reading Static Shock and Icon and Rocket, which they just did their first crossover, where I think Static was in the Icon and Rocket comic books. Which I'm excited about to read that issue. All right, second piece of news. The Lord of the Rings show on Prime Video, September 2022. The Rings of Power.
The Rings of Power. The Rings of Power.
I am super fucking excited about.
I can't wait.
Also, that intro is not CGI.
What intro?
It is so they released the intro, like I
haven't seen it.
Like the intro for the show. Yeah. Phenomenal intro, not CGI at all. 100% real effects. So the intro is basically.
I'm gonna watch it real quick, and I'm gonna just not talk. Is that cool?
Yeah. So the intro pretty much is, if you guys haven't seen it, is they you see like pretty much like it looks like lava going through like a valley, but what it is like they're pouring hot metal into like the shape of like the letters for the logo, and then they like pour water over it, and then like there's a lot of like mist and shit, and then it zooms out and it says the title, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. And people thought that was CGI, but it's not. And they show you how they made it in another video, and honestly, it was so good. But yeah, so go check that out. My third piece of news: a new Mandalorian spin-off show focusing on Bo-Katan Kryze is now in the works, with Katie Sackhoff reprising her role as the lead, which is exciting. We're getting a lot of Mandalorian shows with The Mandalorian, now this with Katie Sackhoff, and now with Boba Fett, which we will get into later. But in the beginning, I would have been excited about this Bo-Katan show. I'm not really that excited about it now after watching Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, oh gosh.
So,
but I one thing though is I actually like Katie Sackhoff.
I like her too.
I think she killed in Battlestar Galactica. I think she killed in
Another Life.
I think it's like Another Life. Yep. That one was really good too.
That was amazing.
I've never heard of this guy on Boba Fett, but I don't know.
He was the actor in Attack of the Clones. He was Jango Fett. So.
I don't know, but still, I feel like seeing him
father.
on screen. I just feel like he's just a fat old guy.
Yeah, he actually got in shape. Like when you see him out of the water tank, he looks. We'll talk into. Yeah, we're gonna dive deep into.
I just want to say I saw that trailer. Yeah, yeah, I'm all about this fucking show. The Rings of Power.
I know. I'm super excited about this. September, boy.
Can't wait.
September. And that is all my news.
All right.
That's all my news.
I got some news, some noticias.
Oh, just real quickly, since we're mentioning news, sorry to cut you off, Dan. If you guys are like, why aren't they talking about this crazy news of Xbox buying Activision Blizzard, is because we dedicated a whole episode to it already. It's already out now. Go check it out on YouTube. Right. Go check it out on your favorite podcast platform, and we did it justice.
Yep.
Sorry, Dan.
No, hey, man. If you want to cut me off and talk about Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard, I want you to do it anytime. Any fucking time.
Okay. Shit was wild.
Oh, my God. It's insane. It's funny because I'm going through my news and I'm looking at all my notes for that. I'm just reading this shit's real. All right, so I got a lot of wrestling. A lot of wrestling news.
Let's get into some wrestling.
So I want to start off with some WWE news. WWE tried to get a Nazi. So what happened?
That's got to be the title of the clip for this. God damn.
So to explain what's going on, There's this one amazing wrestler.
Nah, fuck it. Don't explain. Don't explain. Just move on to the next story. WWE tried to get a Nazi. Let's just move on.
There's this one amazing story of wrestler called Walter. That's it, just Walter. He's Austrian.
Wasn't the guy from the Inglourious Bastards named Walter?
I don't think so. Hugo
His name
Stiglitz?
wasn't Walter in the show? Yeah. Oh no, okay, that's
Yeah. Hugo Stiglitz. Isn't his name Walter?
Is his name Walter in real life?
I don't know the actor in real life. I don't know.
Okay.
Stop trying to
Sorry,
make him
go
Walter. Yeah, Hugo
His
Stiglitz.
name
Isn't
is
he Walter?
Yeah. Isn't it Walter Hugo
Oh
Stiglitz?
God, it never changed, Aslam. So Walter, phenomenal wrestler. He's Austrian. He's been in WWE for a couple years now. He's badass. So WWE recently got a trademark for the name Gunther Stark, and this was supposed to be a name change for Walter, where he was supposed to be now called Gunther Stark, because WWE and Vince McMahon's weird. And it's funny because they changed their idea last minute, because if you Google Gunther Stark, that's the name of a Nazi U-boat commander from World War II. So they're just like, we can't use that name. So they decided, well, you know what? He's established as Walter. He's always been known as Walter. So we're just going to call him Gunther, which makes no fucking sense because Vince McMahon's a crazy old man. So on this past episode of NXT, Walter had a match, and at the end he said, the winner is Gunther. And everyone said, what? And then the show ended. It's annoying because I just want to point out a couple of things. So Walter, he was a top wrestler in Europe under the name Walter. He was signed by WWE under the name Walter. He was the longest reigning NXT UK champ for 870 days under the name Walter. He already debuted on the WWE main roster at one of their biggest pay-per-views, and everybody knows him as Walter. So now when he shows up to the main roster and they're like, look, it's Gunther, everybody's like, who the fuck is Gunther? We don't watch NXT. Makes no fucking sense. Vince, what are you doing?
Yep.
Also, short little tidbit, I found out that Vince McMahon has this pet peeve that he wants all of the coaches and backstage on NXT to dye their beards and cut their hair so they look younger. These are the coaches. They're not even on TV. But he wants them to cut their hair and dye their beards so that they look younger.
Can someone please put this guy in like a mental hospital, or like just put him on a beach somewhere
Put
with
him
a
on
Mai Tai? It's just with a Mai Tai, and just surround him with a couple of chicks so he's distracted, and just let Triple H and his wife fucking run this company, please.
I don't know what's going on with Vince, man. I don't know what's happening.
I think he got a case of the gout, Alzheimer's, the Goutzheimer's.
Lost his marbles.
He got the Goutzheimer's.
The Goutzheimer's. Oh my god.
Another WWE story. Mustafa Ali, and he pronounces it Mustafa. Is that correct? I'm curious, Aslam.
Yeah.
It is supposed to be pronounced Mustafa.
Mustafa. Yeah.
Okay, because he used to be under the name Mustafa.
Kind of like Mustafar, but Mustafa.
Yeah. He used to be
kind of like if you're friends, you don't use the ER.
Oh, okay, I get you now. He used to be Mustafa Ali, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's his name." And then one day he's like, "No, it's actually pronounced Mustafa." I've meant to ask you if that's correct or not. I didn't think about it until just now. Anyway, he requested a release from WWE. He said, "This is stupid. I don't want to fucking be here anymore." Apparently, what happened was he got into a very heated argument with Vince McMahon.
Of course,
he hasn't been seen on TV
Called
since
him a terrorist.
He hasn't been seen on TV since October, and he hasn't had a win on a main show, that being Raw or SmackDown, since July. One hell of a wrestler. He was once known as the Soul, the Heart. He was the Heart or the Soul. He was either the Heart or the Soul. It was Cedric and him. One of them was the Heart, the other was the Soul. Of 205 Live, a phenomenal wrestler. He was supposed to be... So you guys remember a couple of years ago when Kofi Kingston became WWE champion finally? And it was called Kofi Mania. It was a big thing.
You were very happy
It's one of the greatest moments of WrestleMania history, wrestling history. Anyway, that all happened because Mustafa Ali got hurt, and it was actually supposed to be him in that spot. He got injured. They transitioned to Kofi, and they created one of the biggest genuine moments in WWE and wrestling history. So it sucked because it was supposed to be him. He got hurt. Shit happens. I get it. Then a couple months or years later, they were supposed to do a Money in the Bank match, and he was going to win. And I was like, oh, shit, he gets Money in the Bank. That means they're looking at him as a top guy. That's crazy because he's a little guy, and he's not your stereotypical 6'5", 250-pound wrestler.
Yeah.
And then right when he's about to make his entrance, they changed their mind and be like, yeah, you're not going to win. We're going to have Brock Lesnar win. And then we're like, but Brock Lesnar's not even in this match. We're like, yeah, he's going to show up at the end of the match and win. Makes no fucking sense, but that's what happened. So then Ali didn't win that. Then later on, they decided that they want to try to have this one kind of like storyline where there's this weird hacker that's doing all these crazy behind-the-scene WWE things. Nobody knows who it is, and it was supposed to be revealed that it was going to be Ali. And then they just dropped the storyline. They never did anything with it. And then they were just like, hey, we're going to give Mustafa Ali this group of guys. We're going to pull them up from NXT, and they're going to act like they're taking over, and they're wearing masks, and they're just going to – they wreck the ring, and they're tearing up everything. It's going to be badass. And then they gave these guys the dumbest names like T-Bar and Slapjack. And they're just like, yeah, you're called Retribution, and you're just a joke now, and Mustafa Ali's your leader, but we don't really care because you're a bunch of idiots. So that didn't work out. Then Ali was just like, well – I had this idea for a storyline where I want to create this thing called Ali's America. This is going to be the gimmick where I always...
Oh, God, that doesn't sound...
Well, that's the thing. He put up a thing on Twitter, and I'm not going to lie, it looked really good. I wish they would have gone forward with it. Where he was supposed to be...
The name is not good.
Well, the thing is, he comes out dressed like as a politician, and he's just like, all my life I've always been... looked down upon because I'm different, because of my name, because of all this stuff, and I always, hey, if you guys mispronounce my name, it is what it is. I looked away. If you did this, you did whatever. I was like, whatever. I'm just trying to fit in. Now I don't want to fit in anymore. Now I'm gonna make all of you the outcasts. Now you're gonna live in my America. And it was supposed to be like a heel character where he's sort of like a politician, but he also obviously a politician is a heel, but he's supposed to do all that, and it seemed like a really cool concept. Vince McMahon didn't like it, and apparently he pitched some.
See, that was a good choice.
It would have worked. I'm not gonna lie, it would have worked.
No,
hey, I watch wrestling, sir. It would have fucking worked.
I know, but publicity-wise, it would have not.
They have a man called Hakeem the African Dream.
Mm-hmm.
He was a white guy. That's the thing. Vince has done much worse in the past.
In South Africa,
huh?
They're kind of white up there in the north.
No, he wasn't, man. Trust me, he wasn't. This was like some Southern boy, like. But anyway,
that's different. Yeah, but like just because of his name and Ali's America, and just like because it sounds terroristy,
that's the thing. Yeah. His whole career before he got to WWE, they always tried to pitch him as a terroristic type of character, and he always stood away from it. This is. It's not a terrorist thing. I don't know. You have to go on Twitter to look at the thing to truly understand.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying like
it would have been perceived that way
because no one's gonna actually. Yeah, because no one's actually gonna go into it and look at it, right? It's just they're gonna read that, look at the guy, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, this terrorist is." They got terrorists now on WWE.
Yeah, but they've had terrorists on WWE for years.
Yeah, sure, but like they were the good terrorists. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. It was a great idea. Everybody on Twitter loved it.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon turned it down, and apparently he pitched something to Ali. We don't know what it was, but it was, according to Sean Ross Sapp, he knows a lot about insider WWE or wrestling stuff.
We're going to recreate 9/11.
That's the thing. Nobody knows what it was, but he pitched something, and it was something that Ali never would have done. And they got into a heated argument. Yeah. Ali walked out, and he hasn't been seen since. He requested his release, and apparently Vince McMahon is refusing to release him. The guy who's released over 80-something people is now refusing to release Ali, who he doesn't even use.
Just being a dick.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't use him, you don't think he's that good. Then why are you keeping him? Just let him fucking go.
He doesn't want him to get paid. He wants to.
It's bullshit. Yeah. So
it is.
Yeah. There you go. So that's the Mustafa Ali storyline. Eventually he will go. Oh, also he put up this thing on Twitter where he did Bryan Danielson's finisher in like this video. I was like, and he did it so fucking smooth. I was like, he's reenacting AEW wrestlers' moves now. This is amazing. Anyway, and one last wrestling story I got. John Moxley has officially returned to in-ring action. He was out for a while. He purposely
He was hurt, right? I forgot what.
no, he actually had to check himself into rehab because of alcohol addiction. And he was something apparently he'd been struggling with for a while. So he was out. He got himself better. He came back, and dude, he was out for just a few months, and he looks 10 years younger. It's crazy. So he looks like he's like lean now. It's like I can't wait to see him do shit. So he showed up on AEW's Dynamite yesterday, and he goes out to the ring. Everybody's losing their shit. His theme song is Wild Thing, so everybody's singing along to Wild Thing like they used to. It's awesome. Grabs a mic, the music stops, and then the first thing you hear is some fan from the crowd shouting, "Boo, get this drunken piece of shit out the ring." And it was fucked up. And then Jon Moxley, who's been out for months, grabs a microphone, and he says, "Hey, go fuck yourself, get that guy out of here." And they didn't bleep it out. So he just dropped an F-bomb as the first thing he's done in months on television, on TBS. And rightfully so. Everybody cheered afterward.
That's totally called for, though.
Absolutely.
Do they fine his ass or like some sort of
I don't know.
something?
The show will get fined by TBS.
Yeah, it's funny because
yeah, that was cold. That fan was a dick.
As much as I hate saying it, as a wrestling fans aren't always the greatest people.
No, but you got to expect it too. Like you can't, you know what I mean? What he said was fucked up, 100%. But you're in this position where you're famous. You're gonna get criticized for your mistakes because famous people aren't allowed to make mistakes via society's view, right? So it's just like you gotta expect that shit.
I feel like, honest to God, Moxley had the perfect reaction. Even if he gets fined, it was perfect.
Yeah.
And it fits his character and persona and everything. It was phenomenal. He stops. He says, like I said, "Hey, go fuck yourself. Get that guy out of here." And everybody cheers, and then he proceeds to give a promo that only Jon Moxley can give. And he goes out, and he gives this amazing promo. He's just like, listen, he doesn't at any point acknowledge the guy. He doesn't, he just, and everybody focused. And it was so cool because you see the whole audience just gets completely silent. You can hear a pin drop because everybody wants to hear every single word that this man says. That's how much respect Moxley has. So he goes out, and then he ends it with one of it started off weird and then ended up being kind of cool where he's just like, yeah, and you know what? And I'm thirsty. And he does this weird walk. He's like, and the only thing I'm drinking these days is blood. And then he just walks out. I was like, this dude's too fucking badass. Like, so he's going to have that's all he did. He did a promo, but he's going to have his first match this Friday on Rampage. His first match back. So looking forward to seeing Mox. Okay. He's amazing in the ring. Aslam, you got to see Mox win the world title in Chicago with me.
Yeah.
So can't wait. And that's all I got for
glad
wrestling.
He's looking healthy. Yeah, Disco, you said you didn't have any news, right? All right. Let's jump into our main topics of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be reviewing some shows that we've been watching. And we'll start off with Boba Fett because this is going to be quick. So we are 4 episodes into Boba Fett. We are 4 hours into Disappointment, and it is what it is. It's not getting better. It doesn't look like it's getting any better. And I don't know what it is, man. It's just like, so we were talking about it last time. There was like an interesting part where he was like with the Sand People, learning their ways, learning how to fight like them, and like communicating with them and shit like that, earning their respect, which was like a cool little thing of itself. And then like he's in this like fucking like water tank healing. He took over Jabba the Hutt's territory. Like yeah, whatever. It's the tank Goku was in.
He became the daimyo or whatever the fuck that's called.
Yeah, so a daimyo is a Japanese term for like pretty much the leader of an area, right? It's kind of like in England there would be like a lord of this, right? So he's the daimyo of this area. pretty much taken over Jabba the Hutt's territory, which after he died, someone else took over because they thought Boba Fett was dead too. And now he's coming back. He's trying to take it, but he's trying to take it and be like respectful and like earn everybody's respect instead of ruling with fear and blah blah blah. And it's just like, where's the badassness of this bounty hunter that I've heard of so much, and I'm not seeing it here. I saw it in The Mandalorian season 2 for an episode, and then he's just like, I'm too old for this shit, so I'm just gonna, I want to rule respect. I don't want people come and try to kill me every 5 seconds. I just want to, have them respect me, just give me money, and that's it. And it's just like, what are you doing to this character? What are you doing to this story arc? Like, I don't
see. I'm all for
know.
that.
I'm not,
to be honest with you, I'm all for the whole. He doesn't want to fight. I'm all for that. Me being the one who doesn't like action in movies and shit. What a surprise! But
yeah, that's
at the end of the day, it's like they're just going about it wrong. Like, it's a cool concept where Boba Fett, especially in the last episode, episode 4, where he's revealing the whole, hey, we're smarter than the people who fucking hire us. Let's just run things ourselves. Yeah. Like, it's like, I see what they're trying to do. I see the puzzle that they're trying to solve, but they're just missing a whole lot of pieces. And it's
not that they're missing a whole lot of pieces. They got to fill a whole lot of time, and it's really boring.
Mandalorian, bro.
And listen,
I feel like you said, like, he's soft and he's trying to rule by respect. But at the same time, he's coming off like a bitch. But at the same time, every episode he gains like a new follower, like new
like an ally.
Yeah,
like new ally for his like army or regime, whatever the fuck he's creating. Like he got those 2 green pig things, and he got those like street people,
yep.
And then this latest episode he got that Asian chick and the Wookiee chick. So it's like, I feel like they're forcing his hand to like maybe a climax at the end where he's gonna be like, all right, I have to stop being this bitch and like realize like I gotta fuck him up. Like I have to like make my stand. These fucking Jabbas or these huts are fucking my daimyo status up.
The whole thing
up.
is,
like,
you speak softly, but you carry a big stick. Sometimes you just got to bring that big stick down first, let everybody know what's up, and then you speak softly, right? He tried to speak softly at the beginning, and it's just like, bruh, you got to go in, guns blazing, kill all the heads.
That's the whole thing that he's trying to avoid.
Yeah, no, fuck it. Go in, kill all the heads, right? All their lieutenants be like, hey, I don't want to do this again. I want to rule with respect. And it's just like, all right.
That defeats the purpose of what he's trying to do.
That goes against what he's trying to do. Exactly, because he's killing everybody, creating the fear, and then
he doesn't want to rule by fear.
Yeah.
It's the same cycle. Cycle. He's not really.
That's 100% what he's trying to avoid.
Like I said, I feel
I agree with Danny 100%. It's going to be a big payoff.
But like I said, I'm really not enjoying these episodes. My favorite episode was the second one with the Tatooine Raiders, and I was mad as hell they died. I was like, "You son of a bitch! You killed my favorite, you killed my favorite characters." Like, so, and even the episode with the Asian chick, I was like, I don't know.
Which Asian chick are you talking about?
His partner,
the one with the sniper.
Huh?
He's like the second hand or his
right
hand.
Okay.
Is it Fennec?
Yeah, Fennec. I thought you were talking about someone else. I'm like, she's been there the whole time. Like, how did?
Well, no, like they show how he, how they partnered up.
She fell like in the desert.
Well, that was the whole Mando fight,
and he's like,
where she got shot.
That episode sucked to the Mandalorian.
And, also, this black Wookiee. I feel like this black Wookiee is like very racist somehow. Like, I'm intrigued, but I'm just like, this really feels kind of racist to me. It's got dreads too and shit.
One of the things,
nah, Wookiees have that. I've seen that before.
One of the things, I was talking to Eslam about that when they first introduced the Wookiee, I didn't realize who that Wookiee was. So he's in a lot of like the Star Wars comics, like the Marvel comics that I used to read. That's Black Chrysanthemum, which now that you mention it being a little racist and black is in his name, that's probably why they took it out for the show. But
yeah,
he is a badass. Like, he's one of the most badass bounty hunters. Like, in the comic, he's been around since like it's pretty much it takes place right after episode 4. So he's out there dealing with like Luke and all them. So it's like they've come across Black Chrysanthemum, and it's always just one of those things where it's like they're in the middle of doing something, then Black Chrysanthemum shows up, and it's like, oh fuck, how are we gonna get out of this?
Even when they're like in that, I think it was like in their base, and then he just appeared out of nowhere and started fucking them up. Yeah, I feel like how do you say his name?
Chrysanthemum.
It's K and like 3 R's and then Stan.
Chrysanthemum.
I feel like he got fucked up. They like stabbed him and hit him up like mad times, and then he still walked away like unscathed. I feel like he's the biggest badass in the whole show.
Wookiees
I'm like, I want him.
Wookiees
I want him
were
to
crazy
fucking,
warriors, but for some reason, like Chrysanthemum, like so his roar, his voice is deep and like has like a lion's like roar, and then you listen to Chewbacca, he's like, So I was talking to Dan before. I was like, did Chewbacca just never hit puberty? Like, what's happening? Like, why does he sound like that?
Like,
he's still a teenager.
Chewbacca sounds like he has Down syndrome. Like,
that's a Wookiee's voice cracking.
No. Oh my god.
I do think Chrysanthemum's older. I could be wrong about that. He's got gray.
He does. He's got that salt and pepper look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has like.
But I don't know, man. It's like I want to see more of him. Once I realized who it was, I was telling Nelson, I could have sworn in the comics he had like a red eye or something, or maybe I imagined that.
Yeah, you were telling me that. Yeah.
But here he doesn't. But
yes.
Go ahead.
I don't know, man. It's just the story is not pulling me in right now. Even with the flashbacks or whatever, it's like I understand there could be a big payoff at the end, but all that big payoff is going to be just like a huge fight, the war, with those people, and it's just like okay.
I mean, I think it's going to end up being like Mando, where I said the whole time, Mando is like it's Monster of the Week. Every once in a while, you might have a good episode. I just think this is the same thing. They're getting all the boring episodes in early, and then they're gonna get stuff in because Mando, especially Mando season 2. Yeah, if I remember correctly, it's just like it sucked for almost the entire time. They brought in Ahsoka Tano. Hey, that's really cool. Then I think it sucked for like another episode. Then they had the finale, and that was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if I remember correctly, they had maybe 2 good episodes, 3 maybe tops in Mando season 2.
I think they had 3 because they had like that whatchamacallit with when Boba Fett was in there.
Yeah, well, the Boba Fett was cool. The episode, I don't think it was a good episode. That was a cool scene.
It was a good episode,
but it's like there was a lot lacking throughout Mando season 1 and 2, and we talked about it amongst ourselves. Where it's the same show, the difference that Danny was pointing out is there's no Baby Yoda, and Baby Yoda is what got everyone over. It was just like, oh man, this show is so great. I was like, no, it's not. You're just watching his little baby drink some tea, you know. That's all.
Yeah, honestly, yes.
He's so cute.
Yo, Baby Yoda was fucking hilarious. The comedy that they did with it was funny.
It makes me think, like, if they take Baby Yoda out for the next Mando season, is it still going to be a success or what?
Well, filming got delayed, I think. Yeah. It's going to be that, plus, like, getting Bo-Katan is going to be like, ugh. I'm just like, oh, I thought Bo-Katan was just going to be another character in the Mando season 3, because I was like, what are they going to do for that season? I'm like, okay, so they're going to be just like, it's going to be about the Black Saber, Bo-Katan trying to get it, or finding some way so they can take back Mandalore. But I'm just like, now it's going to be like she's getting her own season, which is probably going to happen after Mandalorian season 3.
Have they started filming
which we don't know when it's coming out. I think they started, but now it's delayed.
Because what they could be doing, and it all depends on whether or not they started filming it, is if after Boba Fett, you give it some time, then you transition into her show. And then after her show, you go into Mando. That way you build up time for Grogu to train. That way you have a reason to introduce him. Or you could just do a time jump. That way you get Grogu back in Mando. I feel like Danny said, I feel like it just makes perfect sense now. It's like, I don't think Mandalorian works without Grogu. So you have to get him in there. So you do a time jump, you do something where you get Grogu back in there. It could be like Groot when Groot was a teenager. Just do it with Grogu; it would be fun.
Yeah, but then Mando's gonna be like 92.
I don't care anymore.
And it's just like for Grogu to be a teenager, I think he needs to be like 300 years old.
Well, I mean that was a joke. I didn't actually mean that, but I mean just have it to the point where he's trained. You know, instead of 50, maybe he's 60, a little bit older.
Yeah, it's whatever. It is what it is. All right. I guess we can jump into How I Met Your Father. It's funny. I was talking to my friend about How I Met Your Mother yesterday, actually. And I was telling her, like, I didn't get into How I Met Your Mother until, like, college because I started watching it, like, on Netflix to binge it while I was doing, like, drawings or making models. But I had, like, heard of the show, like, in passing. And I thought it was, like, a reality show of, like, really? I was just like, why are we doing a reality show about how people met their mothers? Like this sounds stupid.
What made you think it was a reality show?
I have no idea. My brain just back then was like extra stupid for some reason.
I hope you think about that about everything. Like, whoa, that's a crazy reality show. How are they getting away with this?
He thought it.
No, I had never actually seen the show. Only heard of the title.
I know, but I was hoping
like a
that you thought that way about
wedding
all
type
shows.
thing.
Yeah.
He thought it was like a 90-day wedding type show.
Yeah, maybe.
Like,
and I was just like,
some
oh,
romantic thing.
Like, I don't want to watch this shit. Why is everybody loving this shit? And I was just like, yeah. And then I started watching and I was like hooked. But yes, How I Met Your Father came out January 18th. 2 episodes on Hulu. Watched them both.
Dude, once it hit midnight, I was on Hulu right there. I was like, I saw both episodes twice.
Damn.
So what are your initial like reactions to the show?
I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time.
Disco?
I'm liking it. There's some characters I'm like meh, and there's some characters I'm like kind of. I feel like are trying to imitate the original cast in certain ways. But overall, I'm liking the vibes that they're giving. You know, I don't know if it's gonna be able to top like the original, but it's not a bad watch. You know, I definitely enjoyed those 2 episodes.
For me, it's like the show started, and it's just like, it's like 2022. Like we're dating Tinder, and I'm like, okay, so I see like they're definitely trying to relate to what is happening now, right? Character-wise, I just think it's going to take me the whole season to fall in love with these characters, to truly understand them. Because, like, the other show, it took me, like, a while to, like... Not a while, but I think it took me, like, the first season to, like, understand the characters. But I think also, like, the How I Met Your Mother, like, at the beginning, like, you felt... Like, these characters had relationships that were built in that I felt came out in their conversations. Like, you know, you had Marshall and Lily. You had Ted with Marshall and Lily. Barney. And then they met. Robin. Like, so all 4 of them were friends, and then they got Robin, right? Where this one, it's like you have the 2 friends of... I already don't know their names.
Jesse.
But, you know, the 2 girls.
Oh, the girls.
Like,
Yeah. It's going to take... Honestly, it took me... for How I Met Your Mother, I couldn't get the names either. So it took me a minute.
Yeah, so you had you have like Hilary Duff and like the Latina chick who were like friends, right? And then they met like the other people on an Uber ride, and then they became friends. And I was just like, I'm like, not gonna happen. But okay, it is what it is.
Me being the type of person who I go out of my way to not make any more friends. I don't know how you make friends anymore. That seems perfectly reasonable to me.
Don't make them in an Uber.
I've been in an Uber once with you, and I was already friends with you.
Yeah.
And then that's when you...
With me? We've been in an Uber
in
together?
Chicago. And that's when you got really cold and you're shaking your ass out on the street corner.
Yeah. I was trying to get you to keep me warm, like hug me and shit, but
I
you
just
wouldn't.
made fun of you.
Yeah, I wanted to be in your warm embrace, but
Oh gosh, that's so romantic.
But yeah, so it's just that was a little weird to me, but it's okay. It works. Like she has her boyfriend who moved from England, who's like super rich. So he's kind of like he's like Barney plus Marshall combined, where he's like the rich, handsome, but he's like into a relationship. He's not like a playboy, right? And the playboy is her friend who got the guy, right? Like she's supposed to. I think she's like the playboy character, even though she's just got an relationship.
I don't
And then you
see
have like
that.
the Indians who are like kind of Marshall and Lily.
See, that's right there. That's your issue, guys. Stop
and I know-
comparing. Stop.
Yes,
I
it
did
is-
not
it is
at
my
any
issue.
point compare.
And I was telling my friend yesterday, because we talked about How I Met Your Father as well. I was like, this is my issue, and it's going to take me a while to get out of this. I'm looking for the similarities from How I Met Your Mother characters into these characters, and it's going to disappoint me in the beginning until these characters build themselves, where I like them for their characters, and I'm not trying to find the How I Met Your Mother characters in them. So I think that's just going to take me a couple episodes.
It's human nature to
Yeah,
look
And that's
for
the thing.
patterns.
Me not
it's
being
going to
me
take
not
a
being
while
human,
for them.
I never thought that. I instinctively was just like, it's because they. I grant that this doesn't really apply, but they straight up said it's like these characters are not related to the others. There are going to be connections, and they do establish one connection, which I'm glad
Yes,
they did
yes.
one, and I'm glad it was quote unquote subtle. But
Yes.
it's a different age. These people are much younger than the old crew. That's going to be a whole different thing. I very, very much like the idea of different friend groups becoming one group because you're learning about each other while watching the show.
Yeah.
You're learning as they're learning. So I like that very, very much.
No, yeah, it's I like I said, I think it's fine. It's not realistic, but it's fine. It's a show.
Oh, how realistic is How I Met Your Mother?
Those four friends finding the fifth, and then like those like the sexual.
That yeah,
thing,
but
that's
okay,
real,
but
that's more
the
realistic.
show,
That's more
the show is
believable.
realistic.
No, but like the connections between the people, right? It's just like it wasn't like random people all like
The original
meeting.
felt more natural. This one feels very like, oh, they're just boom, they're friends now. They're
Ex-
best friends.
yeah,
actually.
See, but
exactly.
they're not.
Now they're
They're
going
still
out and
not
shit,
best
and-
friends. Like in the second episode, they're like, "Hey, we need to find friends for this guy. Who do we know? I don't know. Maybe those guys from the other night. They seemed okay. Let's try them." Like they're still not friends. They're getting there, but they're not friends
Yeah,
yet.
but then they like walk.
But I feel like the way they interact is
Yeah.
like so the way like a best friend would interact. Like, you know, they're just super open and very like I don't know.
That
But
could
I feel
be-
like I'm a little more reserved.
that could be
especially with strangers.
that could be the way New Yorkers are. I don't like. I've met New Yorkers. They're not
You're the
like.
closest thing to a New Yorker
you
between
know.
all three of us, sir. If anyone here knows,
So,
it's you.
but yeah, so like it's just I feel like it like the way they met wasn't organic, which is fine. I will get over this. It is what it is. You have like the one group of friends, which is like the two guy friends, the fiance and the sister, and then they met like the two girls and the one boyfriend, and then you have your group right there, right? So
I feel like just staying on what Eslam said. I feel like the Uber driver like gives me Ted vibes. Like I don't know if that was just me.
Ted Mosby,
Not at
no,
all.
no, because Ted Mosby was like a geek. He was like super.
He
like,
believes
smart
in love, and
whatever.
this guy's the complete anti-love guy.
No, the Ted Mosby character is the girl.
But he's definitely gonna flip. You
They're
know
all
he's not
gonna flip
stay,
back and
like,
forth. They're all gonna have
anti-love.
sex with each other.
Yeah. And they already said like she already said like in the first episode she's like, and that's the night I met
And I
your
fucking
father.
knew
So
they
we
were
have,
gonna
like-
do it. I was gonna call it. I was gonna bet Davey
Yeah.
again. I was gonna double down on him and his children, and I missed out. The chance.
So now the father opportunities are the English guy, the Uber driver, the Ian, which was the black guy, or I don't think it could be the Indian guy since he just got married, but who the fuck knows? But
It could
hey,
be anyone.
It
could be anyone.
Those are the four guys that they kind of showed, or five guys or whatever. But it could have been someone like in the background, but they're throwing you off with these.
Remember
people.
now, How I Met Your
You know what
Mother
I mean?
is big on trying to throw out twists. the famous Robin scenario where I won Danny comes to mind. So that's one of the things. As soon as they said it, I was just like, "This is it. This is the whole like from now to the end of the fucking show. I'm trying to figure out who it is."
So here's the thing, right? They could be doing two things, right? They could be like, okay, so one, we can pull off the same twist as How I Met Your Mother, but in a different scenario where it's like, hey, one of these people is going to be your father, but we're not going to end up together, and I'm going to be fucking someone else. The other one is that, hey, people are going to expect this twist, so we're going to just do it the normal way, where it's like they actually stay with the father, and they don't die of cancer.
Yeah,
or
but it's
whatever.
funny too because like the fact that even in the trailers where they kept on showing her telling the story and they never showed her kids, that's what made me think it. I was just like, they're purposely not showing what the kid looks like so we can't guess.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
So I was like, that's great. And now the whole thing is one thing that they could put a twist on it or not, whatever, but when it came down to it, why did Ted tell his kids the story? Because he wanted to get the okay to go get together with Robin. So why is she telling her son the story? That's going to be the key to try to figure out okay, who the father is. Once we figure out why she's telling the son the story, there you go. Because like there were hints towards the end of How I Met Your Mother that the mother's gonna die. Like there were a couple episodes that like teased it. It was like if you paid attention, you could see she was gonna die. I was like, okay, the mother ain't around, so what's going on? And then Robin. But I don't know, man. I don't know who it is right now. It could be anyone. Like you said, it could be a background character. I don't know. It could be a number of things.
Wasn't the Uber driver like starting to like the Hilary Duff character?
That's what they're showing. It looks like they're going to get
simple,
together.
But I feel like it's way too simple to end there.
Soon.
But like,
or it could could be the twist, right? It's like it's the super obvious thing, but it's going to take a shit ton of time for them to get together.
Maybe it takes time for him to win her over. Like I feel like Ted's always trying to prove himself and win that love. I feel that's why he gives me Ted vibes. But he is a new character. To each their own.
And I like the actor too. He was from another show I used to watch on Netflix, Glow. He was the guy who like owned the company. I was just like, once I saw he was in the show, I was like, oh, he was great in Glow. So seeing him here and just
he's a good actor. I didn't see him in Glow, but I've seen him in other stuff.
And me being antisocial, negative, pessimistic person, seeing him act the way he is, I was like, man, I like this guy. He's just really depressed. I get behind him.
That shit was funny.
I like all the characters so far. The only one I don't like is that English one. I don't know. He just pisses me off.
Oh,
I don't like
he's
it.
pretty funny.
Anytime he talks, I'm just like, shut up. I hate you.
I can't wait for them.
He's pretty much the male Meghan Markle, because he married or he got with like a person of color, so his parents like cut him off. Just like Prince Harry.
What's it called? I already know there has to be some type of episode where he's gonna do something where he's gonna become like extremely successful because everybody thinks he's smart because of his accent. Like I know that's gonna happen, and he seems like an idiot so far because he's never lived like an unsheltered life. So but I don't know. It's just I can't wait. With this being a sitcom, of course, I'm not thinking into it that much. With the sitcom, for the most part, you're meant to just go out there and have fun. So I'm not trying to really think about it.
To compare it back to like the original one, but like not in the same way. Like if you really think about the original one, like their characters grew and evolved so much between the relationships, and by the end they're all like whole other people. So that's one thing that I'm very curious. Like I feel like, although I say I hate the British guy, I have my judgments already of like who I like and I don't. I'm very curious to see by like maybe like
the end of this season,
at the end of this season, or even a couple seasons in, just to see like if I still think the same thing, or just like, oh, I hate him even more, or like or like. I'm just very curious to see where they go and how they grow, because that's just kind of something I'm expecting based off the first one. A lot of growth and just fun.
That's what How I Met Your Mother's all about. It's all about the fun.
Yeah.
The one guy owns the bar, which is interesting, and then
dude, the bartender kid, I love that.
Yeah,
I love that where they're just like, hey, this is cool, right? Yeah. Yeah, bet.
yeah.
What was the
Dude,
bar called again?
I remember.
Oh,
I remember
man.
when
It's
Jonathan
something with a
said
P,
that
I
to me
think.
for the first time.
No,
I remember when Jonathan said "bet" to me for the
Yeah.
first time in a text message,
you didn't know what about.
and I was just like, "Bet
Yeah.
what?" Like this was a couple years ago too, so this is like before the word "bet" became like more
Yeah,
mainstream.
that's been around for a minute.
Yeah, so this was
That
like
sounds like
not- not for
$50 shake
nothing.
on it.
Me being a freaking nerd, I knew about Bet for a minute.
dude, I Jonathan introduced me to
Okay.
bet because I was just like, in a text message, I was like, "What's bet? But what are we betting on?" It's just like, he was like, "No, we're not bet. Like bet." I'm just like, bro,
That's how he explains it.
like. What the fuck? I was like, I'm like, what the fuck are you saying to me? And he was like, bet means like, I
Like,
got you,
okay,
like,
yeah.
yes, or like
That
confirmation.
sounds like, oh no, I don't gamble.
Yeah, I'm like, sorry, gambling's against my religion, bro. I don't do that.
You know what that reminds me of? Esla, when you used to, when we would send text messages, and you would always end it with
LOL.
No. It was
Oh, okay.
it wasn't English. It was some phrase. I don't know if it was Arabic or whatever, but you put a phrase at the end. Yeah.
With you
Yeah,
guys?
you
No,
did.
I've never...
Danny, you remember this? I'm not making this shit up.
it
It was
sounds
like
it.
it was like
I don't
I'm
really
a
remember, but
nay
it
or
sounds
something
very
like that.
possible.
Comment.
Oh,
Manatane, yeah.
He probably had.
Yeah, that's Japanese
that-
for
Oh,
see you
that's
later.
Japanese. Okay, see, at the time,
Yeah.
it's just like I remember I would text you, and I remember this was around the time towards the end of freshman year where I was starting to become more friends with you guys.
Yeah.
And then I was texting you something, you're like Matane, and I remember looking at that shit. I was like, I'm gonna act like I didn't see it. I don't know what the fuck's happening. I was like, I think I don't know if he insulted me. I don't know if we're still friends.
Nah.
He's still been
he said-
ignoring it for 20 years.
he
He's just
said
like, oh, I
Arabic.
didn't see that.
I was like, I never
like,
knew
what it
like
was.
when I text with Nadia, like I'll say some Arabic
Yeah.
words, like but like cause she knows them, but I would never like I would say matane for you guys because like you guys watch anime
Yeah,
like me.
and that's
so.
I never knew what it was, and I could have sworn to God there was one time where we're at Danny's house, and I think you like walked out the room or something. Like, Danny, what the fuck is this?
That's
But
funny.
yeah, I was always just like, no. And I brought this up. We talked about this years ago at one point. I was like, what the fuck is
Oh,
this? And you
God.
told me.
If you did,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know
of
me.
course.
I don't know. Remember.
But that's how I felt with the like compared to your bet thing. But that's the thing. With this show, I'm looking forward to the inside jokes, like How I Met Your Mother had. The beauty of How I Met
I'm
Your
looking
Mother.
forward. Sorry, no, go finish your sentence.
I was just say the
Sorry.
beauty of How I Met Your Mother it's a bunch of friends with inside jokes, and the watcher is in on these jokes with them. That's why I love it. You have
Yes.
the ducky tie.
Yes.
You have all the different doppelgangers. Like, you have all these cool things. It was just like, oh man, you get it. And then if somebody else out there in the world gets it, like I remember once I was working at the arena, and some guy came to see a hockey game, and he was wearing a ducky tie. I'm like, are you a fan of How I Met Your Mother? And he freaked the fuck out because like I knew what it was, and I was like, it's cool to see stuff like that. So like I can't wait to see that, especially once they started off with the Jason Momoas. I was like, oh, I'm loving this already.
Yes.
I'm loving this.
Yeah, that was funny. What was that?
I don't
gonna
know.
say?
You.
Do you remember how I started off?
I
the
was
sentence?
saying I was talking while you're talking, so I stopped, and you're like, no, continue. So I didn't catch it.
Fuck.
Yeah. I had said the
Completely
inside
forgot.
jokes. I really like the inside jokes. Like the ducky tie, like the
Yeah. No, I completely forgot what I was gonna say.
I like the slap
Slap
bet
bet.
from the original.
Yeah,
one.
that- oh my God.
That
Slaps
that
given.
was timeless.
Dude, I was
man.
gonna send you guys something on Instagram, but I didn't know how to do it because I don't understand Instagram because I'm an old person. But there was some video
damn
you
it.
guys might have seen already, where it was these guys in some country where they were just hitting the shit out of each other in the leg with some sticks. It was just two guys standing there, just some sticks, just going, and there was a crowd watching them, and they were just beating the shit out of each other's legs, going back and forth, and then they looked like kids, and I think it was a teacher that stopped them. And I didn't know what it was, but I was like, bro, this is calf slaps to the next level. Like, they just had sticks, and they both had like one pant leg
Goddamn.
rolled up, and they had like one foot in each, and they're just beating the shit out of each other's sticks. It was wild.
some heated competition.
Wow.
It was wild.
But yeah, so far I'm enjoying How I Met Your Father. I can't wait to see the rest. It's gonna take me a little bit to get used to the new characters, get invested into these characters like I got invested with How I Met Your Mother. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the journey. So
I feel like with more time, they're gonna become their own characters. I think because it's only like 1 or 2 episodes. We're still trying to compare, like you said before. We're still trying to make those patterns, and with more time, they're gonna establish themselves as like, oh, I'm this person, and I'm the ditzy character, or we're the perfect couple, or the
so
ideal
far,
couple.
I'm really loving the adopted sister.
Yeah,
She's hilarious to me. I'm just like. She's so quiet and like she was scaring everybody.
Oh,
like it's just like she was so awkward. I was like, she's hilarious. I'm loving her character.
What
so
got
far.
me was when she was in the club and they're like, "Hey, how are you doing talking to that girl?" She's like, "No, I'm talking to a braless girl now." And she walks away. She's nice. Like, they already got me. I already like these characters. I do see them differently. There might be some similarities to some of the previous ones, but I'm liking it.
I feel like they just kind of like maybe even if it's just visually, like they'll have like similar cues to an homage to the old characters. Like I feel like the British guy with his like fancy dressing is Barney. Right, just because Barney always wore suits, like this guy dresses fancy, so that's just
maybe that's why you're connecting.
That's just a little, So there's just like those little things that they have, like the two couple, like the couple that got engaged in the first episode, Marshall and Lily, right? It's just those little things. I feel like they do that to hook you in to be like, and then those characters are gonna change, and then
I didn't get those
gonna evolve
connections
into their own.
They felt like that picture perfect couple. Like,
Yeah,
I definitely got that Marshall.
I did not.
Vibes
Yeah,
too.
so
and then you see the other two, and they're like, I don't know. I felt like I don't know. I want to say Barney and Robin, but I feel like that's stretching way too much.
But no, I feel like there's just like these little characteristics to remind you of what you loved about the old shows to hook you into this new show, and then you'll just understand the new characters and make those same connections with these new characters that you did with the old ones. So
How do you feel about Hilary Duff, like as the main character? As like,
I like
she's
Hilary
the mom.
Duff.
She's the mom, in the old one, and Hilary Duff in the young.
I'm
old
liking
time.
it.
yeah, I like Hilary Duff.
She's working.
No, yeah, I really I think she's killing that role too. I think I mean, I've never really been a big fan of Hilary Duff or like
I watched her on Disney
anything
Channel back in the day.
But I feel like out of all the the child stars back in that age, like she's probably doing the best for herself.
Out of like Disney Channel, because a lot of Disney Channel stars like went hard the other way when they left Disney Channel, in the sense of just like drugs.
Shia LaBeouf is perfectly normal.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's a lot of like drugs, or like you hear them a lot about them in the news. But I feel like Hilary Duff has just been low key the whole time.
Yeah, so like Hilary Duff has become like, so she kind of like got out of acting for a while. I think she started a family and now she's back into acting. Other like success stories are like Zendaya.
Well, she came way after,
was on
didn't
Disney
she?
Channel.
Isn't she like way after? Yeah.
Yeah, she is way after. I'm just saying like the most successful ones that I could think of from like Disney Channel. I obviously I don't know what the stars on Disney Channel.
Well, I never really knew Disney Channel people. I knew Hilary Duff and like Shia LaBeouf. That's really it.
Yeah.
Is Zac Efron from Disney?
I don't
even know.
He was from the movie, but yeah, he wasn't a show. He was just like those musical movies. High School Musical.
Yeah. But if there is a comparison, it's her to Ted.
Yeah,
that's really,
it is.
That's really
because it's
just,
that's the only one.
That's the only one I'm seeing, if anything. But no, I don't really see any other ones.
Why do you say Ted? Just
they're both hopeful, love-struck people. Like they're that's the whole. The show's anchored on the main person who's looking for love.
Their partner. Yeah.
Like they're both the same exact person.
That's the only comparison. Personality-wise,
well, they both seem lame. They both seem very lame and doofy.
And she's willing to do like hopeless romantic shit, like chase a random guy that to an airport when he's leaving for an Australia.
Yeah,
job,
they're the hopeful.
I feel like that's a very movie.
That might be the one character they kept very similar.
That's pretty much it. Everybody else is fairly different. If anything, the British guy is more like Marshall than anyone.
No, yes,
but
I think
even
so.
then,
But
it's
I'm
not.
just saying
Yeah,
the clothing wise is just
Yeah.
like visually, he's just like looks like
I
Barney.
guess.
No,
It's like a combination
Yeah.
of the like just different fusion.
yeah. All right, but yeah. So How I Met Your Father is going to be great. Looking forward to more episodes. Let's just jump into the final show that we're going to talk about, and the main one of the main topics, Peacemaker.
Do you
on
really
HBO
want to?
Max.
Do you really want to taste it?
Now, I just want to hear you guys' initial thoughts on like just the first episode of Peacemaker, because like I had like different thoughts between the first episode and then like continuing the second episode. So like, so just like initial thoughts of like when you first started watching the show.
I'm enjoying it. I'm liking it a lot. It's not the greatest show, but it is definitely, in my opinion, a very good show.
Disco?
I have the same sentiment. Especially if we're basing it off the first episode. I don't think it's the best, but I do feel like it has a lot of potential and it's very enjoyable to watch. I'm curious to see where they're going with it.
Okay.
I like the characters that they have. I think it's a nice little array of characters what they're doing, and what else? Initial thoughts. The intro.
I love the
Yeah.
intro.
I don't know. My first opinion of the intro is I feel like I love the idea of it, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm stuck in modern times, but I feel like there should have been more special effects, like cinematography to it. I feel like they literally just in one take just went back and all types of different things. Or it was 2 takes, I guess. You know, 'cause,
Yeah, there's
like,
the different.
one scene, people come out, but then they all meet up in that center. I don't know. I really like the idea of it, but I wish they would have delivered it a little differently. But overall, it's fun. It's fun.
Honestly, to
Seeing
me,
them
the intro
dancing.
is. I can't think of it being any better. Like, it really is one of the best intros I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Um,
And I like seeing the dad.
Oh my God,
Peacemaker's
with the
dad.
hip thrusting?
He's that casting is so perfect.
Yeah.
If there's gonna be any racist fucking like superheroes, that guy's the perfect one.
He's always been a great villain in everything this man's ever done. I can't. I'm upset. I
Yeah.
don't know his name. I'll figure it out. What are your opinions, Russell?
So I watched the first episode of Peacemaker shortly after the season finale of Dexter New
Well,
Blood.
there you go. That's your problem. That's your problem.
Ooh.
Yes,
go
it
in with
was
a fresh
because
head.
I hated the first episode of
You
Peacemaker.
know it's
'cause
not that. You know it's not trying to be that, man.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it's trying to be Dexter New Blood. That's not what I mean. I'm just like, I got off the high of Dexter New Blood and how great that was, and then I jumped into Peacemaker, which is great at what it's trying to do, which is be complete silliness, and it's. I had a great comparison in my head, but
His
it's,
name's Robert Patrick, by the way.
It's Kick-Ass on steroids.
Oh, that's insulting.
With the way like these characters talk, with the way like how stupid they are, and just like how clumsy and like all this like slapstick shit they do. I feel like that was Kick-Ass, and like they just took it and perfected it and took it to the next level. But the first episode, first of all, when the intro came on, I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, why am I watching this right now? Like, this, I just finished Dexter New Blood season finale, like one of the greatest comebacks to ever happen, and now I'm watching John Cena trying to fucking dance and
So
fail
good. It's so
horribly
good.
at it. But then
He's so big.
That's
He's too
why
big to be
it's so
moving like that.
dude,
It's like a gorilla,
It's
just like.
I haven't skipped the
Neither
intro
have I.
once.
I can't.
Okay, and so I watched the first episode. I was just like, I can't do this right now. Like just can't. Like I can't do this right now. I waited 2 days, and then I jumped into the second episode. By then, I had like come off my Dexter high. I jump in, I see the intro, I was like, damn, this is actually really funny. The rest of the episode goes, they're talking about butterflies, you don't know, like there's a lot of crazy shit happening. John Cena saying the stupidest shit ever. And I'm just like, okay, I get what this show's trying to do, and it's doing it well, and I'm enjoying what's happening. But just like watching it right after Dexter was just like the worst thing you could.
It's
fucking
funny
do.
because I haven't talked about it in a while, but I played Last of Us Part 2. I thought it was phenomenal. And then the game that came out after it was Ghost of Tsushima. And I remember I told you a million times, it was just like, you were just like, Ghost of Tsushima is so great. I'm just like, it's good, but I just played Last of Us Part 2. So it's like, I get what you're saying 100%. And eventually once I got to like, it took me a minute, but once I got to like the third part of Ghost of Tsushima, that's when it hit me. It's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
His brain hasn't healed from the trauma. It's just like, what?
Last of Us trauma is real, bro. You need therapy.
It's so
after
good
those
though.
Games.
I'm going to be getting back into Last of Us 2 again very soon. Looking forward to that.
But yeah, so far the story's interesting. There's enough mystery to keep you engaged in the show. The jokes are phenomenal. John Cena's really funny. He delivers his jokes well.
He knows his niche like the humor, man. He just knows how to use his big ass body and say the goofiest things.
Dude,
like he's just so perfect at that.
Was
shit.
it the first episode where he was fucking that girl? And he was like,
yeah, the
freedom!
butterfly.
Dude,
I was crying.
Dude, this is
and
why
then the next day he's like, I was with a girl, made her come. Like he's
he's like, when I was in this girl's pussy, and I was just like, what's happening right now? Like, are you shitting me? Like, what am I watching?
My God.
Like
that one part where he's talking about his dick and he's just like, yeah, it's too big, it hurts.
Yeah, and I'm just like, dude,
I don't know why I was laughing at that.
Bro,
too.
he's so good. He's so funny.
funny.
He does a great job. He has like great comedic timing, and like, dude, Vigilante is another one. I'm just like, dude, that dude.
He snuck up on me, dude. I was like, who is this guy?
This is why I'm like, this is why I'm like comparing it to.
He's insane.
To Kick-Ass, because like Vigilante seems like well, I don't remember his first name, but like the motherfucker where he's like that's his like McLovin, the character.
He was
McLovin
in that movie.
Kick-Ass. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He was the villain.
Yeah,
dude, I'm the only guy in the world that hated Kick-Ass, so it's like I took it out of my brain.
I could see how Vigilante gives you those vibes, though.
Right?
I could see that.
Like the whole show gives me those vibes.
Yeah.
Like they're not heroes. They're trying to be, and they're just failing horribly at it. But it's really funny, and it's just like it's done really well. Like James Gunn did it really well.
It's James Gunn. To me, Vigilante
he's
is like
so good at.
He's a lesser Deadpool in my mind. It's like it's Deadpool if it wasn't Ryan Reynolds. It's like somebody trying to be Ryan Reynolds, but because he's trying, it makes it funny. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way I see it. But I like it. To me, I put it on the. It's like I said, it's good, not great. I put it on the same par as the Suicide Squad movie, the James Gunn one. It's like I like it just as much as I like that. As of right now, I actually might like Peacemaker a little bit more. But I'm enjoying it. John Cena, I've said for a while now, he's hilarious. Even though I was a big John Cena hater in WWE, when he would do comedic things, I knew he was funny. Like John Cena's always been funny. This show is making me think not only is he funny, he actually is an actor. Like he's not a bad actor. Yeah. He's pretty good actually. Like he has the line delivery where he does everything. He's comedic, yes, but then when he has the serious things, it's just like there are moments where you actually do feel bad for him.
Like episode 4. Episode 4 was pretty, we had, some pretty...
For him and Vigilante. At Vigilante at the end, Vigilante made me feel bad. I was like, I didn't think this guy was going to make me feel anything but, laughter.
Like, they had, some pretty serious moments, when John Cena was thinking about his brother and, the first time he killed and, all this shit. And it's just, when he was asking about his father and, trying to play it off, he's like, yeah, but your tits look great in that shirt. And that's a compliment. And I was just like... Okay.
Every time they get serious, they have to throw another joke. That's the James Gunn style. It's just throw a million jokes at you. Yeah,
and it's hey man, it's
working.
Yeah.
No, it's so working. Funny.
And I feel like the cast helps. The black chick helps
Adebayo,
paint the picture of like where you can feel empathetic for a Peacemaker, where it's like, damn, he really did.
So
have,
yeah,
like,
so
a
she's
shitty
like the
childhood.
conscious
And
of like the consciousness
of the group.
show, and of the group.
I still, at the same time though,
and
I
then-
still get the whole. I don't 100% trust her because of the Amanda Waller connection.
Yeah,
There's
Yes.
still that there. It's like, you're related to Waller. I cannot trust you. Nobody should ever trust
yeah,
a Waller.
apparently her daughter.
1000%.
Yeah.
But I feel like her conscience is gonna make her question Waller
Yeah,
too, just
potentially,
like, because Waller's so cutthroat and callous, and I don't think clearly I don't think she's.
You never know.
That type of
You never
person.
know. It could all be
This could all
Exactly.
be an act.
I guess so. I
And
guess
it
so.
would be great if it is. But
Sorry, are we boring you, sir?
I'm exhausted. I had a deadline today, and
And I like that twist in the last episode. Little spoilers, but
Yeah.
like, where the
yeah, no one saw that coming.
the boss
Mern.
guy,
Mern.
the bird,
Mern.
Mern, where he turned out to be a butterfly too, and
Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
So apparently,
That-
butterflies
got
are
spicy.
these like bugs that live in your
Aliens?
head.
Are they
I
aliens?
guess
We don't
I don't
know.
We'll
We don't
find
know
out
they're aliens.
eventually.
Oh, yeah, we'll
I guess
find out, I guess.
they somehow live in people's head and control them, and they eat by, dropping that tongue
Yeah.
down like a actual butterfly's like
like
snout
a
or
mosquito.
Yeah.
The way a mosquito, like little mouth
that's
thing.
more of a butterfly. Mosquito has like
They got
that,
the needle
that needle
nose
that-
thing.
Yeah, this thing
I guess.
because the butterflies thing curls. But yeah. It's interesting. And he has a butterfly in a jar, and then judo.
Oh my
Judo
god,
Master.
Judo Master.
Judo
dude.
Master's fucking. I thought that was a woman in the beginning.
Why?
Does his mask remind you of like the mask from the movie The Mask a little?
You know what?
Yeah.
When I first saw the intro and Judo Master at the end is like on John Cena picks him
Yeah.
up. I thought for some reason it was a child, and I thought it was the son of TDK from. That's who I thought it was, because this outfit looks almost exactly the same. I was like, is that the son
Yeah.
of the detachable kid? Like, is his arms gonna
Yeah.
come off and start waving?
He does look like a child though. He's so.
What I
small.
love, because he was introduced in episode 2, I believe.
Yeah.
What I love is in that episode how before that there's a scene where John Cena's walking out. I don't remember exactly what's happening, but he's walking out of a car. He's talking to somebody, and he's just going off about how he doesn't like short people, like little
Yeah.
people. And he's just like, "Yeah, have you ever seen Toymaker? Creepy little fucker." And he's just like, anybody that's like a little person, quote unquote, a midget or whatever. He's just talking about how like they're just weird and he doesn't like them. To then later on in the episode meet Judo Master, who's just beating the shit out of everybody.
Oh my god, he was getting demolished.
What I love is in episode 4 when he wakes up, he gets outside. John Cena does this insane superhero jump landing thing, and then the first thing he shouts is like, "Rematch, motherfucker!" Like,
That was hilarious.
oh, it's so good.
But Judo Master about to reveal what the purpose of the butterflies are, and then he gets
By
shot.
Adebayo at just the perfect, precise moment. That's why I was
Yeah.
like, can we trust her?
Yeah. I was like, did she?
And supposedly that was her first kill. I mean, it did look like it shook her
that was
a
a
little
pretty.
bit, but
that was
but
pretty
at
good
the same
aim for
time,
first time shooting.
That's what. Well,
somebody.
she's been trained. Like she's
she's
trained. We all know that
trained.
she can shoot. She just hasn't killed, or she didn't want to kill. She just wanted to silence him. She knows exactly where to shoot the guy because she's so well trained.
almost fucking shot him in the heart. She almost shot
Yeah,
him
but
in the
she's
heart.
so damn well trained. She knows that she could just go off a little bit. This is a comic book, sir.
Maybe.
This is a comic book.
Maybe. Oh, that's true. It's true.
But another thing I really like about the show is the references to other obscure characters throughout the series. In episode 4 as well, where John Cena goes off and starts talking about Matter Eater Lad. I was just like, that's a deep pull, and that's hilarious. Because he's just like, yeah, the kid's fucking weird. He ate a whole Wendy's just because they got his order wrong. But I don't know, man. I'm very, very much enjoying the show. I thought it was just going to be, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to laugh, it's going to be funny. But now I actually
listen.
care about the story with the butterflies.
I had my bias coming into this show, especially with what happened with John Cena in China.
Oh, I was waiting. The whole time watching, it was like, John Cena's got the problem with Islam because of China.
Yeah. But hey, man, he won me over with his comedic timing. It's a funny show. It's well written. So I'm in. Um, and yeah, it is what it is.
They're doing a phenomenal job. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
I'm hooked, and I can't wait for the
Yeah.
rest of the season and more. I hope they don't cancel this shit.
Honestly, if there is a
Um,
season 2, I want there to be a new like intro, but the same style.
Mhm.
Like I need to see another style of the same type of intro so badly.
Yeah.
Just the new characters they introduce are like
Oh.
dancing with them.
Oh, also that fucking what's his name? That geek guy.
The one with the weird
has a
name.
weird name, Yeah, home something.
Economos.
Economa.
Economist, yes. Home something. Wow. No, he's funny too. With like, they're all so stupid.
just
Like, how are they
idiots.
working for Amanda Waller? That's what
It's
this is-
crazy how they make like such James Gunn has a knack for making like such even cheesy characters lovable. Like usually when there's like a computer tech, it's just like just some nerdy guy like but like he brought this guy to life, and
Also,
it's just crazy.
why does Judo Master
Chips?
love chips? Are those flaming hot Cheetos? Yeah. Yeah, you want some?
Because he is a kid, I feel like, and kids love fucking like Taki chips and all those little
Dude,
like chip
When,
bags.
in that scene I was talking about,
Cheetos.
where it's John Cena, the rematch motherfucker. Right before that, when you see like the wind blows and it blows like one bag of chips, that had me laughing. I was just like, they made the wind blowing a bag of chips get over. Like that's how good this is. But just the
Man.
stupid non sequiturs, like the random things that they're talking about, where in Vigilante episode 4 is the one most recent in my mind since I saw it today, where Vigilante's talking about the whole. He's being passive aggressive to Peacemaker about the cutting off of the toe. And Peacemaker's like, "You're upset."
yeah.
He's like, "No, I'm not." He's like, "Well, your dad's just a racist." He's like, "Yeah, well, your dad pretended to be gay to get away from you."
Yeah. He's like, your dad left your mom to marry a dude. He's like, so? He's like, yeah, he probably did that just to get away from you.
It's like all the
my-
stupid
Yeah, like
shit is so good.
The conversation levels between them are like 12-year-old
It's
boys
amazing.
talking. Like that, I feel like that's their mentality. Their mentality is like just like 12-year-olds in grown men
Yeah.
bodies with weapons trying to fucking
Just very
kill people.
deadly people. You know what, Dad? Maybe I'm just
Yes.
a grower, not a shower. You're comparing
Yeah.
yourself to a dick.
Compare yourself to a chode. The name of the episode was the
Chode
Chode
Less
Not
Traveled.
The Chode Less Traveled. Yeah.
Oh gosh,
That
that
shit
had
was-
me dying
that
when
shit
I
was
was
funny.
queuing up that
So good.
episode.
Also, we haven't talked about Eagly.
The star of the intro.
Eagly's hilarious.
I was dying when he told the chick that the eagle hugged him, and he's like, "Yeah, that doesn't seem like."
God, it's so fucking funny.
Is that an eagle in the back of your car? Yeah, it's Eagly.
Dad was so disappointed. Like, what a. He's like, "Dad, look." He just walked off.
Dude, everything. Where he's like, how do you expect me to fucking kill somebody when I don't have a duff of peace on my gun? Like,
Yeah.
you have that. When he finds out he has to kill the kids, he's like, I can't kill the kids. Like,
Yeah.
okay, one of them's a little bit ugly. I get it. They're homely, but still, that makes it harder.
Yeah, the banter is just
Yeah, it's
undeniably
top
just
quality.
captivating, man. It's just so funny. It's just so silly.
Yeah,
And the
it is.
people and the cast, the cast delivers
They
it
do a
so
very good
well.
job.
The execution of this show is amazing, and I give it to James Gunn and the actors, and the casting and the production and everything,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it really is a whole
Yeah.
bunch of people that put that shit together, and kudos to them for putting together something so enjoyable. I'm really looking forward to this
Yeah.
next episode, and can't wait to see.
Absolutely.
100%. All right. Final thoughts.
We got a lot of shows we're watching.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that we have it's been a while since we've had this many shows in common to watch and talk about, and I feel like that's going to end soon. So might as well enjoy it while it lasts.
I got an idea. What other shows are you guys currently watching that we don't talk about? I'm just curious. Just name like one or two.
I watch all the shows.
Just everything.
Superman and Lois came back.
Yeah, I've been watching that. I noticed something very annoying with Superman and Lois. That was happening a lot in the first season, and then it just happened in the first episode of second season, where Superman has to go save someone in China, and I'm just like, why are you pandering? It was North Korean U-boat, but like in the first season, he went to China a couple times, and it's like, anytime it's someone foreign, it's China. And I'm just like, really? We're pandering this hard to China now? Like, come on. But Superman and Lois. I started watching Naomi. What other shows do I watch? Fuck.
Archive 81 on Netflix is pretty decent. I just started that. I watched Hit Monkey.
I didn't watch that.
Expanse. I'm watching Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, Star Trek Discovery I watch.
Star Trek Prodigy.
I gotta watch that.
This almost feels like I should have a bingo board with the names of shows to see which ones you guys.
There's a Star Trek show. It's an animated show, Below Decks, which I think you might.
Oh yeah, that one.
We talked about this on the podcast
because
I think Danny would like it.
Yeah. You watch it too, or
I
no?
do not. It's something I want to get around to watching, but I haven't.
Yeah, it's like in the realm of like Family Guy and like those type of cartoon shows where it's like
my biggest thing. Like I like animated shows like that, but the only problem is I always enjoyed a family setting. I like Family Guy, I like American Dad, I like Bob's Burgers, Simpsons, King of the Hill, stuff like that. When it's like I've seen Futurama. Futurama's okay, but I don't like it as much as any of the other ones I mentioned. I always like the family dynamic. I am watching The Wonder Years, the newer one. Pretty good show. You guys remember? I can't remember his name. The one wrestler from Heels, the guy who left to go work for the competition because he was going to be the champion.
Okay,
he's in that show in The Wonder Years. He's hilarious. Huh? Rooster. Thank you.
Yeah.
He's in the show. He's in Wonder Years. He's hilarious. He's like the friend's dad, but it's a really good show. They have it reminds me of a combination of the old Wonder Years and Everybody Hates Chris. It's like if you combine that, and it's a pretty good show.
Yeah. I'm mostly just I'm watching Dota on Netflix right now. Dragon Blood season 2.
Discovery of Witches is good too.
I think I have that on my
I'm watching that.
But yeah, I'm
it's a lot
sci-fi,
of shows.
Fantasy. Pretty much, I'm watching comic book stuff. I'm trying to watch.
I love space shows and
same
sci-fi.
here.
That's my bugaboo right now. I loved like Another Life when it came out.
Oh, Another Life was phenomenal.
I want Invincible to come back.
I can't wait for fucking
Invincible.
Invincible.
Invincible's gonna take a little bit because it's animated and that takes longer. We still haven't gotten a season 3 or 2 of Harley Quinn.
3 we need.
Still waiting on 3. So season 3 we're still waiting on just because of the animation process.
That's taking long.
Evil was a good show, and Reservoir Dogs. I think you might like.
I started
I
watching
wanted to check
Reservoir
out
Dogs. I
Reservoir
fell
Dogs.
off. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't enough to keep me around, honestly.
Yeah,
but
I watched a couple old movies that I haven't never watched that I've been looking to watch. I finally watched The Town.
Oh, how is that? I haven't seen it.
Which is like, it's good. I mean, it's like an old school like action like bank robbery movie, and it's just like it was. I think
is that with Ben Affleck?
Yeah, he directed the movie and it won a lot of awards and shit. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. It. I also forgot. I watched another one. I
finally saw Knives Out.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow! Yeah.
I liked it.
How'd you
I
feel?
enjoyed it. It was a good time. I didn't think it was gonna be as comical as it was. I saw that. I've seen a couple.
It was a comedy. I mean, it was like.
I didn't realize that. I thought it was gonna be more like serious, but it had me chuckling. It was good. I saw that. I finally saw Fast 9. It's what I
okay.
thought it was. I
Yeah,
honestly don't remember
course.
anything, just like most Fast and Furious movies. We should rank that. We should rank the Fast and Furious movies one day as an episode. That's gonna be fun.
Number 1, Fast
Yeah,
Five.
it's
I've only seen like the first 3. After that, they're on 9 now.
Number
Jesus
1,
Christmas.
Fast 5. Number 2, Fast and Furious 1. Number 3, Tokyo Drift.
Fast
Tokyo.
5, Tokyo Drift, and all the other shit.
Mm-hmm.
The other stuff you can put in any order. I could care less.
Fast and Furious 1 was
I
really
hated
good.
that. I truly
that one-
hated that one.
Oh.
Like honestly, very last place is Too Fast, Too Furious. Easy.
Well, no, that's the second one.
That's
Yeah,
last place.
Yeah, that's yes.
But
Yep.
all the other
You're 100%
ones,
right on that
they're
one.
interchangeable. 1, 2, 3. Well, I guess 3 is Tokyo. So 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8.
I mean, I'm okay with putting 5 Tokyo 1.
That's really high.
I'm okay with that
you really
too.
like one that much? I don't even know what the fuck happens in that movie.
Because it was the one movie about
That's
racing.
why I didn't like it.
Yeah, the rest are just like not about racing. This was the one movie where it's actually about cars and racing.
Fun fact: Fast 9, John Cena, he's in it. I just remembered that.
Yeah. He's the brother.
Some other shows I'm watching are Yellowstone and 1883. They're amazing. I don't know if you guys ever heard, but they're like amazing dramas. Yellowstone is like about cowboys in Montana, and it's I found myself getting really caught up into the characters, and it's just like really like a kid almost admiring these cowboys. Just like, wow, they're pretty cool. Like they're just badasses
For me,
out there.
I mostly try to avoid dramas. I if it's either like animated or funny or like sci-fi, which sci-fi sometimes has.
What do you got
drama in
against
it, but,
dramas?
Like I don't go look. I
Yeah.
have enough drama
I
in
feel-
my life. I don't.
I
need
feel like
more.
in my older age, I'm starting. to like
I've always
dramas
loved
more, and
dramas,
that
man.
Yellowstone, yeah, the Yellowstone is just so good. They're not like fighting or anything, but like the drama between the families and like the shit
Yeah, that's
that
what I want to
happens.
avoid. Like I have enough of that in real life. I don't need to see it on TV too.
Oh my gosh! I guess.
Yeah.
And 1883 is really cool because it's like it's set in 1883, and it's like about this dude who kind of takes charge of this caravan, and he's like trying to cross them over across the country, but there's like a bunch of hazards and bandits, and a lot of these foreigners don't know how to survive in the wild or like make fire, or like they're bringing too much shit in their carriages, and this one chick died from taking a shit and a rattlesnake bit her ass. Yo, I was just like, oh my gosh, yo, I don't want to live in America back then. Yo, it's so wild. But
No, it's horrendous.
Such good TV shows, and
Dude, that's
you
some
know.
like Oregon Trail type shit. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would definitely check out those shows we watch. We just all of us listed like a bunch. of them, but,
I just got to the 4th JoJo,
good
in JoJo's
watches.
Bizarre Adventure. Josuke
damn.
Higashikata. It's
Yeah.
interesting. It's interesting. So far I'm not liking it as much as the other ones, but I felt the same way about the last one, and by the end of it, I was like, "This is great." So let's see if they win me over. I'm definitely enjoying JoJo's Bizarre Adventure very much.
I'm surprised you're still going. I thought you would have been.
It's funny because I do
flopped
that
off,
with
flipped
everything
off.
in my life, but no, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is
Yeah.
keeping me, man. It is bizarre.
It's because each season is like something new. So I feel like if you stick with the same cast over and over, you kind of get bored. But it's
Maybe.
like every season is like a new person, and they get
Nah,
their
son.
own.
It's been like 15, 20 years with One Piece.
And that's why I can't.
More.
Honestly, Danny might have a point. That's why I can't catch up to One Piece. I do get bored. I read it and I hit a point where I'm just like, I'm bored. I need to move.
I have never. I can't say I've never. I've gotten bored once with One Piece, and that was.
I was about to say,
Thriller
I know
Bark.
exactly what it is.
Bad arc.
Thriller fucking work.
That Thriller Park was so difficult. I thought that shit
That
was
was so
fillers.
bad.
It was so difficult to
I was
get
reading
through.
that shit for like 2 years.
But after that, dude, it's nothing but fucking hits. One Piece is just so.
you know what? You want to know something, Danny? In a weird way, when I think of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it almost makes me think of Avatar. Like,
because it's
Which
like
one?
it's because it's a new person, and you have some people from the previous cast like coming over. It's like that. Honestly, that's the only similarity. But it's. I think maybe that's what it is. I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it. You figured out the secret. It's a new cast that gets me.
I know you.
Yeah, I'm still watching. I was gonna say How I Met Your Mother. Demon
I
Slayer.
gotta get into Demon Slayer.
Demon
I
Slayer.
want to
Slayer
get
is
back
good.
into Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
It's been enough years.
I know
that's
why.
why.
So,
I don't know.
perfect time.
I kind of fell off it, and I was just like, "Oh, they're doing jujitsu. That's cool." And then I just like, "Oh,
I never was
I'm
interested
good.
in the
See,
concept.
I
of
saw
the
the
show.
first season because it was on Netflix, and then they didn't put season 2 up for the longest time. And I was just like, well, this is going to be one of those shows that I never read. I'm only going to watch. And then they eventually put up a season 2. I was like, no, I'm good. And I've moved on. So I'll get into it eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe after JoJo.
Yeah, man. And then there's like the new Bleach coming back, so we'll see how that
Yeah.
goes. But all right, let's
Do
end
it.
this bitch. Final thoughts.
I think we gave him. I think we gave
Again.
him. I think we're good. Watch all those shows we talked
All
about.
right, so the shows were the final thoughts. Okay, cool.
we gave like
Yeah.
a million shows. Check those out. Those are final thoughts."
Thank you for listening to Los Wise Guys podcast. If you like what you hear, follow us on social media, like, subscribe, share, rate, review. Go check out the Los Wise Guys website. Go check out our YouTube channel. We're throwing down videos every week, every day. We out here. Thank you for listening. Have a great week.